What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast. Now, I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about if Shazam and Aquaman have saved the DC universe. So now, the DC extended universe, as they call it, has not been around for all that long. Year-wise, it's felt like literally forever that this universe has been around. But in all actuality, there's not that many movies to this universe. And basically, what I want to talk about in this video is what we've experienced so far, and this kind of comparison between DC and Marvel, and really what the future could look like for DC, because obviously we know that this movie franchise's universe has not had a very great trail. Okay, now recently I think it's really rebounded, and I want to talk about that in tomorrow's video. We're going to be ranking all of the movies, all 6 movies in the DC universe. I want to rank them in order. This honestly comes off of the back of Shazam, obviously, which was a very solid movie, and more than just a good movie to me, in that I saw all throughout online people really enjoying it. So it goes past just me. You know, I could have loved Aquaman, I could have loved any movie just in general, but when you see all of these people, you know, thousands and thousands and probably millions of people that love these movies, that obviously says something. It says something about the future and what DC has managed to do recently. Now, Aquaman and Shazam are 2 examples, and Wonder Woman, I'd say, is the third one. Now, Wonder Woman was sandwiched in between some of the darkest days, I believe, of this past like 8-year or 6-year DC universe idea and what they've done. Okay, Wonder Woman was put in between of some pretty bad movies and just a down period, but Wonder Woman was a phenomenal film, and I think showed that there was at least some competence with somebody in DC. Okay, and now Aquaman and Shazam have come out back to back, just really a few months back to back, and have proven that they can really do it. I mean, Aquaman was an absolute blast, and more than just it was a really fun film. Okay, it was a great film. It was a really fun film. I love the film personally. Everybody that I know that has seen the film has loved the film. But not just that, box office, which, you know, money speaks in these kind of things. The money that Aquaman made was surreal. Okay, it made a ton of money, and it made money that I think they weren't expecting at all. And I think it showed them that they can actually do this. Shazam, now the time I'm recording this, and even the time this video goes up, we're not going to get great numbers of Shazam, I don't think, for a couple weeks until we can really start to see what this film can do. I've said in the past videos as well, I do not think it's going to sell as well as Aquaman. I just don't think it has that kind of appeal, the wide range appeal that Aquaman has. That does not mean that I think it's going to sell badly, but I feel like Aquaman did like $1.1 billion. I feel like Shazam will kind of land, I believe, probably at like 600 to 800 million, which I would say is a really good film for the kind of film that Shazam is, and, you know, just for that character and kind of expanding this universe, they're doing a really good job. Up until this point, even with Wonder Woman, you know, after Justice League, we were kind of left with, this is going very bad. Ben Affleck, you know, he was gone, and they were going to have to recast Batman. Then there was the Henry Cavill rumors with Superman. I think that was like in October or November, I believe. So, you know, leading up to Aquaman, we had some terrible movies. We had Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, which was very good. We had Jason Momoa as Aquaman in Justice League, but honestly, he was okay, but he wasn't like amazing. You couldn't have predicted that Aquaman was going to be the movie it was based off of Justice League. So you had kind of pieces, but not really. You had Ben Affleck retiring. He's not going to be in it, but you've had like that for a couple of years where they were like, well, how are we going to replace him? You know, we had the standalone Batman film kind of canceled and redone now. I mean, it is still going to come out, just different director, different actor. So you got that happening. You have Henry Cavill possibly backing out of the role of Superman. So you basically have this crumbling universe, and then all of a sudden Aquaman comes out, and it just said, and basically the message of Aquaman, I feel, to a lot of people was like, hold up, let's just take a break. Look, standalone movie, one person, you know, one character did insanely well. We loved it. Let's slow it down. The comparison to DC and Marvel has been huge, and it's been overplayed, and I feel like DC took it to heart. I feel like DC tried to do things that they absolutely shouldn't have done, because if you just take the 3 standalone movies, not including Man of Steel, but you could even include Man of Steel, you could have Superman in it. If you just take the standalone movies, they have something in this universe. DC has some really, really good potential. I'd honestly say pretty equal to what Marvel had with its first couple. You know, if you compare the origin stories of let's just say Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman, which, okay, those aren't even the best characters in the DC universe. I think Wonder Woman is fantastic. I think Gal Gadot is amazing as her, but, you know, it's not their Superman and Batman. They haven't even figured them out fully yet. But you take those 3, I'd say they're pretty comparable to Iron Man, Cap, and Thor. Those first 3, I mean, Iron Man was a phenomenal movie, but I personally did not like Captain America, and the first Thor is widely regarded as one of the worst Marvel movies. So they are pretty on equal footing, I'd say, for where the time period is. But again, you don't make those comparisons. All people do is compare it to Marvel now, which isn't fair. If you look at these movies by themselves and you don't include Marvel and you don't include all the stuff around these movies are a fantastic starting point, and they haven't even figured out the best characters yet. We could get some really amazing, and this Joker trailer too. Everybody loves this Joker trailer. It's a very different kind of trailer. It looks like a very different kind of story. And, you know, James Gunn making the next Suicide Squad or rebooting it, they're getting second chances for franchises. They're getting better people to do it. I think they're starting to figure things out. They just need to figure out what they're going to do with Superman, and they need to figure out what they're going to do with Batman, and they actually have something that's very, very good. So, you know, have these 2 movies saved it? I think 1000% yes. I think Wonder Woman, even saying Wonder Woman saved it isn't exactly fair, because Wonder Woman was around. Okay, she was around, and it did obviously an insane amount of money, and I think DC is obviously going to rest a lot on what Wonder Woman 2 can do next June. I think that's going to be very, very important for them, but I think it'll do really good. So Wonder Woman is a vital and important part as well, and I think that showed that, yes, they can make standalone movies, and arguably Wonder Woman was more important back then because, you know, it came right after Batman vs. Superman, which at that point was like, okay, can it get worse? Then we got Wonder Woman, and then we had Justice League, so it went kind of back and forth, but Wonder Woman showed potential of what they could actually do. But now Aquaman and Shazam have proven back-to-back times, and 3 times in a row with standalone movies, that they can do standalone movies, that they can make really cool, and not just that, very different. Aquaman is not the same as Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman's not the same as Shazam. Shazam's not the same as Aquaman. They're all very, very different movies. They're all directed by different people. They all obviously star different people. They're all kind of taking place in the same universe. I mean, they kind of pretend they are, but if you just look at it and pretend nothing that has happened in the past that we've seen, like with Justice League and stuff, if you pretend none of that's happened, you know, I think it's just a better experience overall. But they've done very, very good all by themselves. So I think Aquaman and Shazam have given DC hopefully confidence. I think standalone movies are probably the way they need to go for now. Figure out these standalone characters, and then maybe try again in several years to bring them all back together, if that's even what they want to do. I don't even know if doing another Justice League, even doing another one, the Justice League, I don't know if that's even a good idea. You need to get Batman sorted out. You need to get Superman sorted out. You need to make, I'd say, even a sequel to Aquaman, and Aquaman obviously is getting a sequel, but maybe even Shazam, you get one. Maybe you figure out how to do Green Lantern and do them in a good way. There's a lot of things they can do. They have a lot of potential here with the properties they own, and I think they're starting to gain confidence, and I think this isn't a bad thing. I mean, I'm not going to compare them to Marvel. I'm not going to say that they're better than Marvel. They're absolutely not, okay? But at the same time, I don't want to compare it to Marvel. Just on their own, DC is doing well right now, and I think that's something we should all be very happy for. There's more than just the superheroes in Marvel. It's just DC has never been able to handle them well. I guess not never. The Dark Knight franchise was amazing, but this last kind of 6 years, ever since Man of Steel, obviously could have been better. But, you know, I think they're on the up and up, and I'm excited for the future. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you think that Shazam and Aquaman saved the DC universe? Where do you think they're going to go from here? You know, what do you think they should do going forward? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel podcast. Now hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.